Hey everybody, welcome to my channel today. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different from what I normally do. Today's video is a little bit more personal, but I wanted to share with you my personal experience with my thyroid biopsy that I had done 2 days ago. So today is Sunday, and 2 days ago I had a fine needle aspiration biopsy of my thyroid. A little bit of background about why I had to have it done. I've been on thyroid medicine for about 15 years. My levels were just not where they should be, and so I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism about 16 years ago. So I've been on the medication ever since then, but more recently I've been having trouble swallowing. I've been singing my whole life, and some things are a little bit harder for me now. So I had an ultrasound done last summer. I went to a new doctor and an endocrinologist, and she ordered an ultrasound, so I had that done. She felt some lumps on my thyroid, pretty much the whole thing. And so I had an ultrasound done last summer, and of course they found nodules on my thyroid. And so she upped my dosage, just kept monitoring me. And then I had a follow-up ultrasound a couple weeks ago, and that one was really painful. There's one spot right in this area that's just really sore if you poke on it really hard. And so she did my whole thyroid. The nodules were still there. And while she was doing the ultrasound, she mentioned to me about having surgery. And I was really not expecting that, because I've been doing really good with my medicine. She's been checking my levels every couple months, every 3 months. And it seemed to be getting a little bit better, but the nodules were not getting any smaller. They were getting bigger, specifically this side. So she told me that it would be a good idea for me to have surgery. After she got done with the ultrasound, she said that she wanted me to get a biopsy first. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I just wasn't. No particular reason other than I was doing good with my medicine, and I was completely caught off guard. So they scheduled the biopsy for this past Friday. And I went in had to be there at 9:30, and the biopsy was scheduled for 10. And I've been really nervous about this because I've never had this kind of procedure before. I've had all kinds of different kinds of surgeries, but I've never had a biopsy like this before. So I was really nervous, didn't know what to expect. I did a little bit of research, looked up some videos on YouTube, tried not to watch too much videos because I didn't want to see the actual procedure being done. I looked up some things, and I was just still really nervous. So they called me back, and I asked them if my husband could come back with me, and they said no. And I almost started crying because I didn't think I was going to be able to do the procedure without my husband. I needed somebody to hold my hand, and he's always been there for me for things like this. And I knew that it would make me feel better. So I was really upset when they said he couldn't come back. So I came in the room. She had me lay on the bed. She was going to ask me just a few basic questions, double check my birthday, all that stuff they have to do before they do the procedure. And then she said she was looking on the computer system, and she could not find my copies of the ultrasound from my doctor's office. And she asked me if I brought them. I was like, no, I didn't bring them. I didn't know that I was supposed to. And she said, well, we have to have that in order to do the ultrasound. And I was really confused because the doctor told me that they were going to do an ultrasound-guided fine needle aspiration biopsy, and I thought that they were going to do the ultrasound while they did the biopsy, and I was a little confused. And then she explained to me that she needed to know where the nodules were so that they would know where to insert the needle to get the biopsy, to do the biopsy. And then it kind of all made sense to me. Then I was like, okay, I understand now. So she was like, we don't have them. They're not in our system. And I mean, I was I didn't know where they were because they didn't send them with me. They didn't tell me I needed them. So she called the doctor's office and they told her that they were uploaded in the system, and Anya told my doctor's office that she was having trouble getting them to come through. So the lady at my doctor's office, it's literally across the street from the hospital, so she volunteered to bring over the copies of the ultrasound so that they could have them. So that's taken up a lot of time, and I had already been there probably 40 minutes. So it had, from the time they called me back to the time that she finally got a hold of somebody at my doctor's office, about 40 minutes had passed. And I was nervous because my husband wasn't in there. It was taking a lot longer than I had expected. I just wanted to get it over with. So the ultrasound tech was also feeling the same way. She was wanting to get it over with. And so she decided to just do her own ultrasound in the office. So she went ahead and did that, and she was moving the probe around, and when she got on this side, she was going, and I was like, what's wrong? Can you not find it? And she said, no, that's not the problem. The problem is that your thyroid is just really full of nodules. I'm having trouble deciphering which one is the one that we are supposed to biopsy. So after she said that, I was just getting more stressed out because I didn't really know what was going on. I was just wanting to get it over with. And so while she's talking to me, she tells me that I'm really going to like the PA, and I'm like, oh, that's, that really helps, but it doesn't really help me a lot because I don't care if he's nice. I want it to be over with. So then she tells me the PA's name, and I was like, wait, I think I know him. So it turned out that the PA was my husband's cousin. And that made me feel a whole lot better knowing that somebody that I knew was going to be doing the biopsy, and I feel like that I could, ask him more questions than I could have if it had been somebody that I didn't know, and that I knew that he would be straight with me. So that immediately calmed my fears as far as the person, but as far as what to expect during the actual procedure, I was still really nervous, and my stomach was a little upset. So finally, the PA comes in, and I was so excited to see him because I knew him. It's my husband's cousin. I was so relieved. It made me feel a whole lot better. He explained some things to me, what to expect. Then he started feeling around, and he when he got to this part right over here, he was concerned because it was painful, and he said that it shouldn't hurt. And I mean, I don't really know. I just assumed that when your thyroid has nodules on it that it's going to be painful, but he said no, that it shouldn't be painful. So he was going to call the doctor's office. So he called the doctor's office. Well, of course, the doctor was unavailable. She was seeing patients. So he left her a message, and I don't know, 20 minutes go by, and he's waiting for them to call back. And I'm sitting in the room by myself, still being nervous for the procedure, all by myself, not really knowing what to expect. And then the ultrasound tech and the PA come back in, and they call the doctor's office again and ask to speak to the doctor. And he explains to her what's going on, that he's calling to find out what needed to be done, because they had initially planned to do 2 biopsy sites. And so with the one being painful, they didn't want to biopsy that because it could be more uncomfortable than it normally would be without being painful. So that's why he wanted to call the doctor. So the doctor told him just to try to do the 1 biopsy site, and that's what they so that's what the new plan was. So I drew a diagram of what my thyroid, I can't draw, but I drew a diagram of what a thyroid should look like, and then the red spots are where the areas are that they had wanted to biopsy. So the thyroid is like a butterfly shape. Like, I can't draw. It's like a butterfly shape. And so this area right here is the lobe, the part that connects the 2 sides together. And so I believe that it's called the isthmus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's what this area right here is called. And this is the left lobe. So if you're looking at me, oh, that's pretty good size. It kind of looks like this, okay? So those are the areas that they had wanted to biopsy. So once the PA got the okay from the doctor to do the one site, he told me that he was going to go get my husband for me, and I was so relieved. That was probably the moment where I felt like, okay, this is going to be fine. I'm going to be okay. So he goes to get my husband, and my husband comes in, and they lay me down, and they have to block off your shirt. They just have to make sure that it's covered. So they put these papers around me, and the PA had to numb me first with lidocaine, and so the lidocaine did not feel good. The needle was bigger than the actual needles for the biopsy, but the lidocaine going in my neck. So I'm laying down on my back, and so I feel it. So you can see the dots right here. So I feel it going in, and as I'm laying down, it's a burning, stinging, horribly uncomfortable pain feeling in your neck. And I don't know if it was because I'm laying down or if because it was where the medicine was supposed to go, but it started here, and it went back, and then it went up, and it kind of stopped right about up here. I was nervous that I was going to not be able to feel my esophagus. I didn't know what to expect, but I could swallow. I could feel it fine. So the numbing medicine burned and stung for probably about 10 seconds, and that was excruciatingly just imagine something that bugs you, nails on a chalkboard, whatever. It was probably 50 times worse than that. So after he did that, I mean, immediately he went into the biopsy. I don't even think that he waited 10 seconds. It was numbed that quick. So for the biopsy, he had to do three biopsies in each area. So it only ended up being the one area. So that was 3 different needle sticks. But what they don't tell you is that they have to like jab it kind of in and out. And so I was numb, but I could still feel pressure, and it's not like, it's a kind of a painful pressure. So I couldn't feel the needle at the site where it was going in. I could feel it like deep in my throat, like something was like stabbing me from the inside, and I could feel each little time that he would do this, I could feel that in the back of my throat. And I didn't feel like I was going to choke or anything. It was, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain it other than to say it was horrific. And he did that 3 times. So three different areas of this little thing right here. And each time he stuck it in, I think he had to go like this maybe like 7 times. And so then he would pull a needle out, and then he would do it again 7 more times, pull it out, put it back in, do it 7 more times, and then that'll be it. And then it was done. So you can't really see it that good, but it's right here. So my husband said that each time he inserted the needle for the each 3 times that he did the actual biopsy, that he used the same hole. So that's why I only have 2. I have one where the lidocaine needle went in, and then I have one for each of the 3 times that he did the biopsy. So after it was all done with, they set you up slowly so you don't pass out, because you're laying back kind of far, and so they set you up slowly. And then I just asked him a few questions, what can I do? Am I allowed to eat whatever I want to? And he said, yeah, there was no restrictions. And then he said that the biopsy would hopefully be back on Wednesday. So today's Sunday. I had it done on Friday. So hopefully I'll get a call on Wednesday. For the rest of the day on Friday, I was pretty sore. I was kind of not really wanting to move my neck. It just felt weird. It felt like somebody had punched me in the throat pretty hard. Yesterday was better. I kind of had a little bit of trouble turning my neck just because if you turn it all, I can turn it, but turning it all the way each side, a little uncomfortable. Sneezing was bad yesterday and coughing was bad yesterday. Today, coughing is not bad. Sneezing, it doesn't really feel that good, but it's not that bad. So I'm doing really good today. I don't want anybody to rub it because that's a little uncomfortable. But other than that, I can pretty much do whatever I want. So my overall experience of the thyroid biopsy was horrible. I wish that somebody would have told me a little bit more about what was going to happen. But at the same time, I'm glad they didn't, because I probably would have begged my doctor to cancel the procedure. And I know that everybody's different. I've heard that some people don't even feel it. I cannot imagine how that's possible. It was unbelievably uncomfortable. The lidocaine was horribly painful. Nothing like going to the dentist. It was even 10 times worse. Imagine those of you who hate going to the dentist. This was a lot worse than going to the dentist. Nothing that I have ever had done has been this uncomfortable. So I just wanted to share with everybody a little bit about what I went through. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. And as always, please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.